you've done an amazing job on that, and you really have. Yeah, Liv's been the one who's really, because there's a lot of nanos. We have a lot of nanos, and you want a name that kind of, sparks the imagination, is descriptive kind of what they do, has a flavor of the world, and Liv again and again nails it. And oops, I'm banging. Sorry about that. Nails it all the time. And also is even written, once you get into the game, once the game goes live and you guys can start diving in and taking a look, you'll see that each of the nanos has a little kind of a descriptive story that goes with it. It's not very long. It's just a little story that sort of gives you some background. Those are all Liv. They're fantastic, and they give you a nice flavor for how they got their name, how they got their start, all that stuff. So it's fun stuff.
Awesome. All right. So, let's get started with the questioning.
The interrogation.
The questioning,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, we're getting interrogated
told
on
me
stream.
this would be the Spanish Inquisition. Oh my goodness.
So, the first thing I wanted to ask was, where names were in the beginning and, how they progressed. So, in the beginning, you only had these characters. What started, what kind of gave you the ideas for, I guess, example, the nano line? Where'd you start, and what were some names you came up with before you eventually ended up on what we have now?
Liv, go for you're the nano expert, so.
All right. So what's really cool, I think, about our pipeline process and all of the nanos in particular is there's a couple of different departments that have to be put into motion before we get any of our stuff. So art has to come up with what the nano may look like, and then the design team has to come up with their different abilities, how they're going to function, how they're going to attack the player. And at that point, with those two pieces aligned, then it falls into my hands, which is very fun because it's less of this thing where we pull a name out of a hat or a word or a description and pin it on the wall and go, what does that thing look like? And instead I get really spoiled and I get to see these wonderful creatures on my screen and I get to go, okay, so what's the story there? There were a couple of names for some of the Legion nanos that the design team gave to us that we changed. But I think one of them in particular that I can remember we didn't change, that stuck, I think, is the Reaper nano. It's my favorite nano in the entire game. If you know me at all, I cannot stop talking about how cool the design is. If you've played any of our playtests and you've gotten to a certain point, you have met the Reaper. But there's something so interesting about being able to look at the abilities and how the player is going to interact with how the nano is going to attack. That makes naming, I think, a really fun, engaging process.
Yeah, the Reaper nano, I don't think there would be a lot of people who've actually seen the Reaper yet, because I think the playtest we had only goes up to the 3rd dead sector, and the Reaper comes later, if I remember right. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. Yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up about the naming, the process for the nanos, because it's interesting, isn't it, that for the characters, it actually goes exactly the other way. When we were coming up with the heroes for the game, well, not exactly the other way, but game design would come up with sort of here's the type of character we want, type of abilities we want for this character, and then art would wait for us. We would take that stuff and then we'd start creating a bio. Who is this person? Where did they come from? How did they come to the Meridian? And then we'd write up this bio. Sometimes we'd put together some concept art of what we were seeing, and then we'd send it to art, and art would then take that and create their amazing art, and then send it back to us. We'd all look at it, game design, narrative, and art, and we'd all share our notes, and then away we go with our characters. So a slightly different process depending on what it is we're dealing with.
Cool. So, I just pulled up, some of the runners in the game, and I was looking at Dead Cut, I think that's one of the more interesting names in the game. What exactly sparked that name?
So Dead Cut's idea is that he is he's from the U.S. He's from America, the South, and he was a gambler before the collapse. But he was a gambler with a lot of debts before the collapse. And when the collapse struck, he lost everything. All his debts were cleared. He lost anything he owned and had, but his debts were cleared. But also he lost his family and everyone. But he's still a gambler at heart, and so he always is this guy who needs to live his life on the line, put everything on the line all the time. And so for him, coming to the Meridian is about putting it all on the line and gambling himself, gambling the best that he's got against this toxic world. So for the name, all his language he uses, everything he talks about, he's got that kind of gambler, almost magician attitude, because that's his life. And so Dead Cut actually refers to when you take a deck of cards and you just do you lift it one time and just that's the dead cut. You don't shuffle it, you just a dead cut. So that's where his name comes from. And
that's interesting. I've never heard that term while playing like poker. So
well, I don't think you have reasons to use it, in poker or anything. Yeah, exactly. It was written by one of our other writers, Ian McCammett, and he's a big fan of magicians and poker or gamblers. And that that life, and at least the fantasy of that life. And so he, when we were working on Dead Cut, he wanted to, he proposed this character, and we loved it. And Dead Cut, I love the name because Dead Cut has that. It's got that edge. It's got an edge to the name, but then it fits so well with what he is and who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect name for him.
Very cool. So, obviously with Dead Cut, you got the name from, his gambling past. It has to do with gambling. It has to do with playing cards. For other characters, do they also fit that similar style, or did any of these names get any type of influence, maybe from pop culture per se? I'm quite curious.
For the runner?
Just maybe anything in general.
Yeah, Liv, go ahead.
That's a really good question. A lot of the runners, from what I understand, were their names were not of my lineage, let's say. Ian had a huge hand in them, and he's brilliant. So I'm sure that he has incredible stories as to why they all appeared. But I know I can speak to Layla especially. Her name has changed a couple of times, but that name, she's such a fun, fiery character. And I haven't met a Layla in real life yet, but every single fictional Layla that I've encountered, I can't think of one off the top of my head. They're all really fun and quick and ruthless to a degree, and that definitely fits her. She's awesome. I've been playing her a lot lately, and just no notes. She's really cool.
No notes. I love it. Yeah, the names for the characters. I don't think we have pop culture right. Dead Cut's the one that has a very specific story and a backstory to where that name came from. The others, they more just we just sort of, as we wrote them, the names kind of birthed themselves almost in a way. They came from the bios and as we were writing them. I see somebody here is talking about Dead Cut was their main runner during the last demo. Yeah, I love playing with Dead Cut as well. I love the incendiary bombs, and I just love his attitude. He's got a great attitude in the game. It's a fun vibe to play with. That's actually the thing I love about the runners we've got in general is if we're just talking personalities, they've all got their abilities, but they've also got very distinct personalities. Like you've got Rania, who's really got this kind of dark edge to her, which was hard to get right with the actor. The actor nailed it, but what I mean was we were all trying to figure out, well, what does that mean, and how does that come across? And she helped really find this character who's, Rania's story is that she has she's got nano sickness. So everyone in this world has either survived the collapse, or they've died from it, or there's a few who partially were infected by this corruption and were able to stop the corruption before it completely destroyed their bodies. So in Rania, as you can see here, her left arm there is completely coated in nano texture because she was partially taken over by nanites, and it killed her emotions as well. So that's the one part of her emotionally that is dead. So when you play her, that's what's happening. She's still got an attitude, but it's a deadened attitude. It's a bit of a flat attitude, which that was the hard part, to deliver it in a way that still sounded engaging and exciting. It couldn't sound flat, but we wanted that sense of, she's dead inside, and she really, really nailed that. So she's just a good example of, like all the characters. I think if you get in a team where there's 3 of different characters together, just listening to the way they talk together, it sounds great. It blends together so well, and that's one of the things I'm quite proud of with the team pulling this off. It works really, really well.
Speaking of, saying that she sounds like she's dead, she has a sword. I'm just thinking, oh, maybe she could have been Dead Cut.
Oh yeah, well, that's the good thing about that name, Dead Cut. Many people could be Dead Cut depending on the time of day.
Yeah, someone in chat said that. Well, someone in chat said that his name translates in French to, I'm going to not pronounce this right, le joueur, meaning the player, which fits perfectly with his lore. Le joueur.
Is that right? Have I got that right? Delta?
I was going to say, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. The player. There you go. Dead
so many
translates
so many
into...
levels.
That's strange. How strange. Yeah.
Did you even know that? Was that just unintentional?
Had no idea. No.
Yeah, now we have to take full credit for it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you, Delta.
Clearly, yeah.
Rania. Yeah, Rania's definitely got that vibe, doesn't she? That Mad Max touch to her, for sure.
Yeah, she's really fun to play.
Kaleidoscope Fox. Layla is my fave. Layla. I love Layla.
She's great.
Layla. Okay, Layla is my favorite, mostly because I'm not really as good at this game as I wish I was, and so I use her invisibility a lot.
She's
got this great ability to be like, ghosted. She'll say, I'm not even there, and then she disappears. I need that all the time.
I was gonna say, when we play PvP and all of a sudden you'll see like a flicker in the corner of your screen, and I'm like, I'm about to get hit in the head by something, and sure enough, she'll reappear and I get slashed to the ground. So it has been fun recently.
You're I've played with you a few times, Liv. You're far better than you're making yourself out to be. You are brutal in this game. I'm always like, damn it, Liv just got me again.
Our play sessions are very fun. Hopefully we can have a live play session at some point soon, but not just yet. We should probably brush up on our skills a little bit more first.
I think so.
So getting back to names, I actually, planned a fun little trivia section soon. But before we get to that, I wanted to ask, well, both of you, which of all the names you came up with is the one that you feel most proud of?
Kevin, I'm going to let you take that first while I think. Because there's a couple of names I have to
thank you for that. No, that's a tough question, because we've been on this game for so many years, so it's hard to pick a You know what? I'm going to have to think on this one. Okay, so are we talking names for anything? Are you like
anything at all?
Anything
Just
at all?
Anything at all.
Okay. There are some names of the weapons that I particularly like. Let me see. I'm just trying to remember which one is one of my. I'm bringing up the game here.
I will say.
Okay, I know. I have one. Yes, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. While you looked, off the top of my head, I'm pretty impressed with the classic, and I know that that's a very easy answer to give. It's one of our base guns, but thinking of Eli, who's our weapons vendor, he's the one that you go to if you want to switch out your gun or get a new melee weapon. A lot of the weapons in this game, we've thought that he's designed or he's had a hand in. So the classic is an assault rifle that's really simple to operate and reliable under any condition. So I always think that would be like the starter weapon that Eli would give to a brand new runner in the Meridian. Just like, here, kid, it won't fail you. You gotta go. However, when you look at our gun tech, which is our really, really cool weapons, there's an SMG that I've been playing with constantly lately called Chaos Theory, and I'm obsessed with it. First of all, the name, just the idea that you're taking actual chaos theory in real life where you can't really predict the future, but you kind of can, but not definitively. And instead you get this weapon that hopefully sways the immediate future in your favor and gets you out of whatever match you're in alive. You just can't go wrong. It's perfect.
Spot on, Liz. Spot on. I think the one I like, I'm kind of like you. I just pick a base name, but I really love Pignose. To me, that's such a perfect name for it's the shotgun. It has, it's like a pig nose right at the front. Mm-hmm. It's and that is definitely what Eli would name it. You're absolutely right. Eli's this guy who's kind of taken over he was a bit of a prepper, conspiracy theory minded, and then he's the one who named all these weapons. So some of them make sense, some of them are a little bizarre. There's a gun called the Auto Magic, which obviously Eli's like, yeah, it's the Auto Magic because it's a shotgun that magically starts acting like an automatic gun. And so Pignose, it just has it's a good name and it's a great gun. So.
There's another shotgun actually called Firing Squad Special, and I just Eli's sense of humor to me is slightly twisted because you kind of have to be, right? When the entire world that is collapsed around you and you have to survive, there has to be something that gives. And just the idea that Eli is holding this beautiful shotgun, handing it to a runner and being like, okay, here's the Firing Squad Special, sending you out, and you're just lining nanos up and being like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and taking them all out. I just feel like he'd watch that and laugh. But that's just me.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm looking at the shotguns, and as you said that one, I was just reminded of the Shotgun Funhouse. Yeah. Again, that's Eli, who's just got these wacky names. He's like, you look like a Shotgun Funhouse guy. Here you go. And what's nice about him is that we've got different vendors, and they've all got their own flavor. You'll discover them as you start playing the game. There's different vendors around. He's the one who's kind of got the quirkiest personality. And then you've got the serious-minded Leia, who's all science, and so there's a nice contrast. But Shotgun Funhouse, it's amazing.
So it seems to me that you guys really enjoy naming the weapons specifically. It seems like that's where a lot of the fun comes in.
Oh well, yes. There's also, there is so much naming that goes on in this game. I'm trying to think of where some of the other names that we've got going.
Are we allowed to talk about some of the currency?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're up to date because the game, we're in the closing phases of the game, and so some things are. But yeah, for sure, we can talk about some of the currency. Have you got one in mind?
Tux bucks.
Tux bucks.
You can't go wrong. If you are purchasing any sort of skin or you're designing your weapon, kitting out your character, your runner, I should say, you have to have Tux bucks. And I just remember getting a message at 3 p.m, And one of our writers was like, hey, so someone suggested Tux Bucks. How do you feel? And I was like, you know what? I think that's the funniest thing I've heard in a very long time. Let's run with it.
Well, so here's the funny thing. I remember that conversation. What actually was said was, somebody wants to go with Tux Bucks. We need to stop that idea. And you and everybody else was like, Tux Bucks.
It's like, this is awesome. Why would we change it? So yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I'm missing something here. Tux Bucks?
Tux, like tuxedo.
If you look at the
Tux Bucks.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you look at the coin itself, you'll see the coin. It almost looks like it has a jacket engraved on the coin, and it's for skins. You use this to purchase skins.
Okay.
So we were like, Tux Bucks.
Like, might as well.
Tux.
So yeah,
Okay.
we do have fun naming
Right.
stuff.
We do have fun
naming stuff.
Yeah, we're all remote, and so a lot of action happens on chat. And if it gets very chaotic, instantly that chat turns into a video call.
Phone call.
Yeah, I actually think that is hilarious. I'm laughing inside, I promise.
I can see it.
All right. Well, let's get to the trivia section, which I'm most excited about. And sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Yep, go for it.
So there are 3 rounds to this trivia section, and I'm hoping chat will also join in on the fun. This chat has to do with synced item names. So the first section is synonyms. I'm going to name a word, and then it's going to be a synonym to an item name in synced. Okay? So I'll give you an example. Actually. I can't because I only have the ones that I have prepared. So no example for you. The next will be opposite round, okay? So opposite or antonyms. So I can give you an example for this. If I said the past, what would that be? What would an antonym to the past be?
The future.
Exactly. The future, which is a name
That's
of
one of
a
our
weapon.
weapons.
Exactly, Kaleidoscope Box. You got it. So, hey, you got 1 point.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. There we go.
1 point for you. Unfortunately, that's an example. So you get nothing. You lose.
Ouch. That's
Unfortunate.
harsh.
And then the last section is the definition round. So I will give you a definition, and then you must answer that with a name of something that is in synced.
Oh, and did you draw the definition from synced?
No, it is.
Oh, good. So we aren't
a-
being challenged on how much we remember what we've written.
Thank God.
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm not that mean. So, you know what? I'm going to set a little timer here so we don't take too long on each question. And I will give you guys a minute to think of each word, and then I will also give chat a minute, and then I will tell you the answers. So, with that being said, we will start off with the synonym round. Okay?
Ready.
All right. Question 1. What is a synonym to the word prestige?
It's in
Go.
my name.
I have to use my English major skills right now.
Prestige.
Prestige.
Chat, you can always help them. I know there are people who
And it's something
know the
in
game in and out.
name.
Prestige.
Prestige. I'm looking through all the weapons and I'm trying to be like, what is it?
Low life.
Oh, it's an antonym? No, you said synonym. We're doing
Synonym.
Synonym, Toy Prof.
On everyone that's Googling at home.
Quick, Google.
Prominence? I don't think that's one of our weapons name, is it?
It's not just weapons. It can be nano. It can be a character. It could be
Prestige.
something that's part of the mod.
Oh my goodness.
All right, it's been 1 minute, so I'm gonna give another 30
come on.
seconds. I'm gonna give another 30 seconds.
And it can be anything. It's not just a gun.
Yep, anything.
Oh, that's gonna kill me right there. Okay. Let me see here. It's not a gun. Oh, maybe it's a. We've got the Harlequin. No. Prestige. And you're gonna say it. And we're gonna go. Oh, of course.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I can already feel the part of my head kicking in.
I can already
All
feel
right.
the stupid coming on. Here it comes.
Well, it's been 1 minute and 30 seconds. I didn't see anyone in chat say anything. So I'm going to give you guys a guess, and then I'll tell you the answer. So just make a guess.
Oh, Delta says renown. I'll go with Deltas.
Renown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Is that
quite
your
a
final
synonym,
answer?
but well, yeah, because I got no other answer.
All right. Wrong. How about live?
I, for some reason, am feeling like it's a nano or something nano adjacent, and I'm just.
Oh, I see where you are. You're talking to Leia.
All right. You said prestige. I'm gonna go with synonym.
What have we got?
Are you just searching, trying
We
to
are.
stall
We're
here?
totally just searching here. All right.
For
what's
some
the
reason,
answer?
I'm thinking prowler, but I don't think I'm right on that.
Is that your final answer?
I think that's my final answer.
All right. The answer is glory.
Glory. That would do it. That would do it.
Glory.
I wasn't even thinking of the characters.
I was gonna say both of us
All right.
going right over our heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that you know how this goes, maybe it'll get easier from here on out, or harder.
Fingers crossed.
All right. We're ready.
All right. For my second question, we're still on synonyms.
All right.
The question is silencer.
Silence.
Go.
Silencer. Whisper?
We have a gun called the Whisperer.
Yeah, that's one of our secondaries.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah?
The only issue with that is that, I feel like most weapons have a silencer, but I feel like it has to be
No,
Whisper.
the Whisperer sounds like it. It's got to be it. Jake's like, no, I'm not saying anything.
Jake's like, actually, you guys are really wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm waiting for chat. I'm hoping chat will add in on the.
Well, they're just
on the
right now.
guessing.
Chat saying, "Oh yeah, Liv got it done." So what is there
That's
to
on my
say?
side.
So it seems like you guys came up with your ansers. You want
That's got to be it. If you're one of the characters.
She's right.
Yay! Well,
What? No, sorry. No. Sorry. I was.
Oh, you were
I was
reading.
saying
You were
what
reading something.
crying hot sauce said.
Thank you, Crying Hot Sauce.
Megan says, "I trust Liv," and I trust
Okay.
Megan. So there you go.
Liv. Okay. Liv says whisper, and I'm guessing you also say whisper.
It has to be Whisperer.
Well, unfortunately, I actually put down suppressor.
Oh, like the nano.
Yes. But to be honest, that's such a close. I didn't even think of that, so I'm gonna
So,
give that
that-
to you.
yeah, it sounds like you should lose some points as well for that. So we should all get points for the last question, and bonus points for the last question.
No, you get a question. You get a point, even though you were wrong.
There you go.
I'll take it.
All right.
Participation points.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. We're gonna go on to our next one. We're technically at
Participation medals.
1 and 1
Okay.
right now. So here we go. Question number 3. Far away ancestor.
Far away ancestor, distant relative.
That's good. I'm locking in that one. Kevin's right. Although
All right.
I'm gonna check the nanos just to be sure.
Yeah,
Just in case.
you might want to check. You guys, you still have a good 45 seconds before you lock in your answer.
Locking in.
I trust Kevin.
Does Megan trust Kevin? No, she
Meg-
doesn't.
I hope Megan trusts Kevin.
Does crying hot sauce trust Kevin?
These synonyms are rigged. Have you been listening to us? These are clearly not rigged.
Kevin seems trustworthy.
All right. All right, then we'll stop here. You are right. It is distant relative.
Good.
That was pretty
Good
fast.
job. That was really
All
fast.
right.
That was good.
Now we are moving on to the opposite round, the antonyms. All right. Our first word. Alive so.
What? Alive so.
Dead cut?
Done. Well done.
Here, you can obviously get where I'm going with this. Yes,
Of course.
dead cut.
Of course.
You're correct.
Well done, Liv.
Thank you. I was all
I
of the
can
chat
tell.
about dead cut.
I can tell Delta is just like, what is going on here?
It's okay, Delta, you're not alone.
All right. Our next one, we're on question 5. Are we ready?
Ready?
All right. Silent partner.
Silent partner.
Noisy neighbor?
Silent partner. Seer? No. What did you say, Liv?
I said noisy neighbor, but I don't think neighbor and partner are antonyms.
Silent partner. Oh, it's antonyms.
Yeah.
Whoa. Silent partner, noisy neighbor.
But like partner and neighbor, I feel like you could be a partner and a neighbor. Well, maybe not.
It'd be weird if you're a partner with your neighbor.
Yeah, that would be kind of strange.
Yeah, it'd be a little odd. What relationship is that?
Oh, Chad is saying crusher.
Silent partner would be crusher.
Silent partner would be crusher. That's a possibility.
I'm not going to shoot them down. They haven't let us wrong yet.
That's true.
Nixer 85 and Delta both say crusher.
All right.
So, what's the winner?
You guys want to lock in a guess?
I'm gonna go with Chad on this one, but I'm still gonna put noisy neighbor like on the table, but I'm gonna hang with Chad.
And what does chat say? Crusher?
They're saying crusher, and you know what?
Crusher.
Let's see what they say.
All right. Well, keep in mind, these are literal. This is meant to be taken literally. So it was noisy neighbor.
All right. It's okay, chat. If one of us goes down, we all go down. That's okay. I'll go down with chat.
Yeah. This actually, not thinking so hard is probably the best because clearly.
Just be quick.
Yeah. Clearly, I wasn't thinking too hard. All right. Question number 6. I'm going to still give you the points though because I was just stalling to see if I could get chat to throw you off, which I did.
Well done.
So thank you,
Yeah,
Chad.
it's working.
All right. Question number 6. Distant yeller.
Distant yeller. These are the okay. Oh, the close talker.
Oh yeah.
Close talker. Where is it? Where is the close talker?
Maybe chat has something to say. Maybe it could be a guardian.
There it is. It's close talker. That's the
Close talker. I
Shotgun.
hardly know her.
All right.
I'm gonna lock in with Kevin on this one.
All right. Good job.
Gotta be close talker.
You're right.
Woohoo.
Close talker. Bling bling bling.
Yep, it's a shotgun, indeed.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you guys, I have not been keeping track of who got what right, so I'm just going to say we're all winners at the moment, even chat. Chat is the biggest winner.
Congrats, chat. You guys are
Well done.
always the biggest winners.
All right, we're on to question 7. This is the definition round, okay?
Oh boy.
Oh, this
So
is
now,
kill us.
yes. All right, question number 7. This is a star that suddenly increases greatly in brightness because of a catastrophic explosion that ejects most of its mass.
That would be the supernova.
Locking it in. Supernova. Supernova is our super powerful sniper rifle. Where is it? It's a GunTech sniper rifle. And it does exactly that. It sends off this shot that looks like a supernova and then pulls everyone in.
I see some locks being put down in chat. So
There
I
it
think
is.
that means,
See? They know.
that means, you know, you're locked in.
Supernova.
Hey.
Got to be.
And you are correct.
Yes.
It is
Thank God.
supernova. Yeah.
Supernova is a fun one. I love that weapon when you because you just feel super powerful. You got a whole bunch of nanos coming at you. You blast that in the middle of them. It kind of creates what looks exactly like a supernova. Pulls them in, dead.
What's
Love
really
it.
cool about our gun tech is that it's made for PvE, and that is where you hit the majority of some. I mean, we've established this. I'm a huge nano nerd. I love the nanos in our game. But there are definitely a couple that grind my gears and best me every time. With that weapon, though, takes care of them like nothing. So
I got to try that one on the eroder because the eroder makes me crazy. So I should try the supernova against the eroder.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, exactly, Nick, sir. All right, on to question 8.
Yep.
This is a journey to one or more places and then back again.
Journey to one or more places and then back again. And this is a name?
It is. Started the timer.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. It's we just talked about it today. Hold on, give me 1 second to like pull this up. It's
You have 50
round
seconds,
trip, I
actually.
think.
Oh, round trip.
I think it's round trip.
What did you say? What was your definition?
Traveling there and back.
I can only tell you once.
You can
Yeah, I
only
think
tell us once. Wait, that's a new rule. I never heard that rule
That's
before.
a new rule.
A journey to one or more places and back again.
Yeah, round trip.
It has to be round trip.
Again,
Are
a very
we-
Eli name.
Are we locking in, chat? I need to
Yeah.
see some locks before I can give the answer.
Nothing with a journey in it. Round trip makes sense. Exactly. K-Sib agrees.
Thank you, K-Sib.
All right, we got 5 seconds before I see some locks in chat. Oh, I see a lock. All right. Well, you're correct.
Yeah.
It is round trip.
Round trip's a really cool weapon because
Oh, yeah.
any missed shots that you take just automatically come back in. So it's very helpful if, like me, the first time you play a level, you just panic and you just start shooting. You don't have to worry about that. It's fine. You'll get through it. It's something I have to remind myself a lot when I'm playing for the first time.
That reminds me, somebody was asking in the chat. Who was asking? Hold on. It was Delta. Are weapon names designed to be relevant to the game's lore, or is it more having cool names? So that's a good point. It's a bit of both, but but the cool names don't just come out of us wanting cool names. It comes out of, this is Eli. You know, Eli's this character who, that's his personality. He's got a light kind of carefree attitude towards the collapse, and so that carries over into everything he does and everything he names. but also the names we're trying to also at times evoke what it does. Like round trip, exactly. We want players to be able to have a shorthand to go, I know what that weapon does. I fire it off, the bullet will come back to me if I miss something. And so that's how Eli's thought of it as well. And so he sort of does it in this colorful, flavorful way. So it's not giving you, deep lore about the world, but it is still, it fits within the world of our game because that's who Eli is.
Well said.
I just wanted to get back to that question, so I saw that there.
All right, we are on question 9. 2 more questions. You guys have done so well. I can say without a doubt, you definitely know your names.
Thank God.
Yeah, really. Otherwise we have to reveal the ghostwriter.
I was going to say, we pull someone out of a cupboard and we're like, it was this one all the whole time.
Wrote everything.
All right, question number 9. A very experienced or long-serving person.
Very experienced or long-serving person.
Is it still a weapon?
Could be
sounds like a person.
Nano.
I was gonna say it sounds like something else.
Very experienced or long-serving person.
A very experienced or long-serving person.
Well, Doc Stone has gray hair. I mean, I don't know, but so does Rania. So doesn't.
Keep in mind, this is a definition. This is a definition, not a description.
There is a weapon whose name could file under that, but I don't think. This is hard.
What have we got? We've got.
Could it be Guardian? I'm spitballing, but I don't think it's Guardian.
Yeah, what have we got? Seer. Could it be Seer?
Long-serving person.
Long-serving. That's the part that's a little hard to figure out. I'm looking at weapons here. What have we got? We've got.
Somebody came up with a cool name.
What was it?
It's not in the game.
Veteran. The veteran.
Veteran.
Yeah, exactly.
The veteran's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that we have a dragoon rifle, and a dragoon is like a cavalry member, but I don't know if that counts. I'm writing the veteran down, by the way. So whoever just did that in chat, if it shows up.
Mr. Efficiency? No. Deadly Tortoise? No.
See, chat now figured out why we're doing this. It's so we can get them to come up with names for us.
Yeah, exactly.
We have less work to do.
That's it. We're lazy. We're always lazy.
Someone says old reliable.
Oh, could be old reliable.
Old reliable. What was the definition again?
You're right.
A very experienced or long-serving person.
Old reliable. Good call, Nixer. I think that might be it.
Are we locking in?
Oh, I'm with Nixer.
All right.
I'm in.
The answer is old timer.
Old timer.
Close. I was close.
Dag nabbit.
Old timer.
Old timer is a very Doc Stone weapon, though. I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the default weapon you would give him. And actually, old timer is my favorite weapon to use because I really like to have the explosive reload drop. So you just spam on the shotgun and then you just kind of weave out of enemies and just drop your explosives at them, and before you know it, you have more shotgun to shoot at them with. And it's such a strong weapon on its own that it puts out so much damage that you don't really have to worry about those 2 bullets that you're putting out. The explosive kind of just helps defend you during the time you're reloading. So it's almost like you're just constantly putting out damage. it's a fun build to run.
Nice.
All right, our last one for all the marbles.
Drum roll.
A person who judges the merits of literacy or artistic works as a profession.
As a profession.
All right.
First of all, what a fun profession that must be.
Well,
I know I write video games for a living, but like that does sound very cool. And if any of you in chat do that, hats off.
no, their profession is giving us names so we don't have to work.
I say that makes them writers.
I've got it.
What does it make them? What the definition of this is?
I think it means that, is it the critic?
It's the critic. It's got to be the critic.
Always
Are we
a
locking
critic.
in?
Oh yeah, got to lock in the critic. The critic, the assault rifle. The critic.
Yeah, you are correct. It is the critic.
Of course it is.
And I just tested that out the other day. I was actually really enjoying that weapon. Being able to just constantly crit and put out tons of damage felt pretty good.
Yeah, it's an assault rifle.
Yep. And if you get all the attachments on it, it looks even. If you get the extra stock at the end, it looks very cool. Takes a while to get to that point, though.
Yeah.
So we have finished our trivia game. You guys did awesome.
Did we
will
win the whole marbles?
I was gonna say,
I
how
will
many marbles
tell-
do we get?
Yeah.
I'll tell the big boss that you deserve a raise. How about that?
There it is. See? There you
Just give us some
You know,
marble
I,
coins.
I have that
go.
power.
We really just want the marbles.
Yeah, we
were
just want the
promised
marbles.
when we arrived here.
Well, maybe I can find a factory here in China that makes synced marbles, and I'll give you how many ever you got right.
Synced marbles.
So I think now we can go into the game, all of us, and do a round
To
of
finish this off,
to do a dead sector round.
Take no wooden nickels now.
let's do it.
So maybe you guys can just tell me what builds you're gonna run, and then I can pick a build suited around you guys.
All right. So
Maybe-
I think I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna use Vicious Cycle, which is kind of like the round trip in a way. Vicious Cycle it's a gun tech weapon. I love it because you can fire these blades that just sort of shoot out, and then when you reload, the blades come back. But if you sort of strategize, they'll come back through the enemies again. So they go through them. You angle yourself a different way, and when you recall them, they pierce the enemies again. So I love it for that. And you don't have to reload or restock your ammo. So it's great for that.
And I think I'm gonna go with the generator. Ammo just automatically regenerates when you're not firing, which is super useful in the dead sectors. And it also looks really cool. I'm vain when it comes to a lot of my weapon skins, and we're spoiled at Synced. I think we have a lot of really cool skins for both runners and weapons. But I want my build to be pretty and functional. It's so good.
And I'm going to go as Doc Stone for two reasons. One is, if we're going into a PvE, I always like to have the doctor because because I just want to make sure I can heal whenever I want to heal. But also he does great group heal as well, and also he's got fantastic hair, and so I'm like, that's the hair I want. So
He does have
Doc
really nice hair.
yes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go as Glory. Glory is probably my
Oh.
favorite character, aside from Layla. Don't get me wrong, all of our runners are awesome, and they're all really fun to play as. But Glory has a grenade that it's like a smoke bomb, and it is very fun to use. I love throwing it, watching all of the nanos drop, and then being able to come out and continue to clear the room. It makes me feel very powerful.
Yeah.
And I will be playing as the person who watches Tony play, because I am actually not in the game.
So to answer low gamer level, the question, what's different is the name. So you've heard a lot of the names we're doing, and there's some new gun tech that you haven't seen before. And also we've sort of done a polish on a lot of the names in the game, as you saw. So just straight names. There's going to be a lot of cosmetics and things that you haven't seen yet that have been there for a while, that we've just sort of been holding back, that are finally going to get pushed out, as well as some game modes that I don't believe have been seen at all, that are going to come out as well. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff, and then of course, for when the game launches, we're going to have different types of events that are coming up. So there's going to be lots of new stuff that you haven't seen in the game.
And I will say, for even people that have seen the Nano Leap, I know that there are friends of mine who haven't. Depending on which companion nano you have, the Nano Leap changes. So I'm always going along with the Guardian. Guardian is my favorite companion nano to have, and it turns into this kind of like skateboard, surfboard thing, and it is so much fun. I will sometimes just go in and just spam that and just fly everywhere. It's great.
There's a question from Crying Hot Sauce Liv. Did you have a favorite moment while writing for the game?
Oh man, that's a really good question.
Yeah,
there's so many. I really, really love working on this game. Every single day that I go to work, I'm just so excited because my team is awesome. Obviously, you can see Kevin is amazing. He's an awesome narrative director. And he's not just paying me to say that, I swear. He's great. Not a lot.
And he's humble too.
But the other writers on our team are just wonderful. They're so kind and clever, and so going to cool. But as far as specifically writing, once you get into the game and you start to explore, there's a lot of narrative that we have in the game that you get to kind of come upon. So they're called memory fragments. There's some that are you can listen to. There's some you can read, and once the game goes live, I promise I will go and make a list of all of my favorites. But writing those memory fragments has been really cool. It's been awesome to flesh out the world in really concentrated, careful ways and let you guys, the players, go in and discover them and connect with these other runners that you may not brush into in Haven, but do populate the world and really fill it up in an awesome way. Was that fair to say?
Oh, it's absolutely. I'm going to add to that story just while but to get things going, I'm going to load us in. Is everyone ready? And then I'll follow up on what you just said there. One thing, about what Liv was saying about the memory fragments. They're these. It's a lot of the lore of the world is in there, but they're in our world. They're little chunks of people's memories that have just been. The corruption in our world has kind of, spewed out into the universe. But it was Liv who came up with that term. We were trying to figure out what do we call them, and Liv's like, oh, they're kind of like memory fragments, and we were like, that's it. And I love that term. So we sort of locked that in as soon as Liv said it.
About video game writing and just as a whole, there's so many different parts that you don't necessarily think of, right? There's mod descriptions, there's bits and pieces of text within the weapon names, right? You have the names, but then all the descriptions. There's so much writing that goes into a game that you don't necessarily think of until you're the one doing it. And I think all of it I've had a really fun time on because you don't think of it when you're playing these games, how much time and effort goes into each individual piece. And it's been really cool to have my fingerprints all over synced.
Delta says, will it be possible to play dead sectors on higher difficulties the next time we have access to the game? And
go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to actually mention that the game has actually sectioned off dead sectors and kind of branched them off even more so. So before, Dead Sector 1, you would have, I think, 2 sections. The first section where you're out in the Meridian, and then you put your Scarab onto that nano, and then you go into the second level, which is fighting the Tyrant. Well, that's actually sectioned off into 2 different levels now. So once you put your Scarab, then you actually go back to the Haven, and then for Dead Sector 2, you actually go fight the Tyrant. And between those, there is a level gap. So I think this was so that there would be more gaps between levels, and also making it so each game didn't last so long. Would I be correct in saying this, Kevin?
Yeah, I think we wanted to give players more options on where they can pop in and out of a PvE or a PvP, and also it makes the rounds a little quicker. Also, to answer Delta's question, if you get through all the 5 sectors, then you'll be able to revisit those sectors, and they will become more difficult. So you'll see. I don't want to go into specifics because that'll be part of what we're going to reveal. But yes, the short answer to your question is yes. It will be possible to play the dead sectors in a more difficult state.
All right, let's team up. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Gotta find. There you are.
Oh, yes, the walrus.
Yep, I am the walrus. All right, so I think we're all here. We're all readied up. I'm going to jump us in now to Dead Sector 1.
Let's do this, guys.
Doing the surge sweep. Here we go. And Tony is playing as Dead Cut. We've talked a lot about Dead Cut. So
Fan favorite.
Fan favorite. So we've got Dead Cut, we've got Dr. Stone, and we've got Glory. Nice. And as I said, I am using the Vicious Cycle.
All right, runner, you're up.
This is new, by the way, that being able to see each other inside the inside the map, inside Haven. So that's a new thing that you guys haven't seen before. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, once you team up with your friends, you guys can all chase each other around Haven. It's really, really cool.
It's amazing.
Makes me think an interesting mode could be like tag.
Yeah.
I know, games, since I was a kid have had modes like that of tag where you either shoot them with a bullet and then you run away or something, and then they got to hit you with a bullet. Definitely makes for fun, different ways of playing the game.
Yeah, it's a big playground, so there's lots you can do here. I think that's what I love about the Meridian. It's pretty wide open, but still contained. And it's not so big that you get lost, but it gives you enough space that you really can make choices on where you're going and what you want to do. And once you get to know the maps, especially in a PvP, it's very good once you get to know the maps and you find your spots, hidey holes. All right, so there we go.
Let's go find ourselves some companions.
That's the first thing. So that's the thing, is you guys, the people who've already played the game already know this. One of the first things you want to do is you want to find a prime nano, which are the harder nanos to take on. You want to subdue it, and then you're going to sync with it. That gets you your companions. Companions are hugely important in this game.
Who wants the first one?
Big asset. Go for it, Liv.
Yeah?
You called it out first.
I can already see some challenge videos being made, beating all of SYNCED without a companion nano.
That's true, right? Yeah.
That would be fun.
It would be fun.
I will say though, I'm really partial to the companion. I'm the type of person that will get attached to like the microphone on my desk and name it. So the longer that I play with these companions, the more I'm like, no, he's my best friend. Don't let him leave.
Well, and that's something we did too. You know, we were thinking that as we created these characters and the companions. Oh, nice! Look at that. There's the nano leap. Love it. We were thinking exactly that. Like, if these runners are going to have a chip to create a companion, they're going to get attached to that companion. And so if you listen, each of the runners has a specific name they give their companion. So for the Doctor, it's Churchill. Let's see, for Dead Cut, it's what is it for Dead Cut?
Ace.
Ace, yeah.
Ace, of course. And again, he's the gambler, so. So they've all got their names that they
Park.
call them.
Park is Ivan.
Parks is Ivan.
Why Ivan?
Because so Ivan is based on the game. Not the game. The book. What's the name of the? Liv, help me out here. The. Oh my God, I've forgotten the name of the book.
You can do it.
It's the one. You can do it.
You can do it.
It's all you.
It's the deadliest. I'm gonna have to figure out the name. It's the deadliest. No, it's about the guy who goes to the island and he ends up hunting. He ends up being hunted on this island.
Oh my.
And by this rich, crazy guy who loves to hunt people, and his servant in that book is named Ivan. And we were like, well, Park is the big game hunter, so his assistant is going to be called Ivan.
Oh
just
my
like
God.
the book. But what is the?
Is it a Jurassic Park thing?
The most dangerous game.
Thank you.
That's it.
Most dangerous game. Well done.
Somewhere
So,
Ian's
most
weeping.
dangerous game. Ian's
I was gonna say Ian's weeping.
He's gonna be like, what are you doing? You've destroyed. But anyway, that's
Crying Hot Sauce says the most dangerous game.
Thank you, Crying Hot Sauce. Have you guys been going to the mods? Oh, Tony's there right now. Tony's picking up some mods. So there's a really cool mod called Reload Blast. Whenever you have an empty reload, it'll drop an explosive, and it's super, super helpful for some of these PvE missions because you can just keep upgrading, and the more like you upgrade, the more explosive damage you get, the more explosives are dropped, and it's a really awesome way to just clear an area without having to do too much running around.
There's another one as well. There's a mod called similar to that called Parting Gift. I love the name Parting Gift. Again, I don't know if that was you or somebody else, but anyway, it's called Parting Gift, and it's the same idea, but it's when you kill nanos and they will drop bombs. They'll drop explosives.
I was actually talking about that Reload Blast earlier, pairing it with Old Timer and just being able to put out tons of damage, especially against big bosses. It's really effective.
Tony just appeared. I heard Dead Cook go, woo! And he showed up on the nano leap.
It's
I gotta
it's
find
kind of
myself a nano.
interesting.
Here we go.
There you go.
I was asking you guys about names that come from pop culture, and I think you were having a tiny bit of a hard time, figuring out what names actually, do we actually use pop culture? But that is a good example of a name, Ivan, right? It comes from a novel.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was. I think it was more because we were focused on the weapons, and the weapons didn't have as much pulp culture references. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, and Winston sorry, Churchill. Is you know, he's the Englishman. So we wanted Winston Churchill.
So these little spiderlings are hive nanos. And they are quite a fun enemy to encounter. And by fun, I mean they will kind of rock your day.
Fun as in, they're not fun.
No.
They kill you all the time.
Yeah, they're like kamikazes.
Yeah, they don't
come right at you.
They don't act quite like other nanos. And there's really cool lore reasons. So once you guys get in and start playing the game, as I'm sure you have in some of the playtests, you can read all those little descriptions. And we worked really hard to take a huge chunk of the world and do it in like 50 words.
Here, Tony, I found one of these memory fragments. Oh, no, it's not an audio one. Try and find an audio one. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
You got hit by a swarm.
I was going to say, I turned around and they were like... someone's got the right idea. They're using their nano to, like, kill the other nanos.
Hey, Tony, are you nearby? Come over here and I'll show you. I found a memory fragment. Come up to where I am. So if you come up here, I don't know if you can see it, right there. So scan that, and people will be able to hear one of the stories. So those are the types of things you'll find in the world.
It's a death sentence that's going to spread to every corner of the planet. I wrote it all in my final report.
They're a really cool way to consume narrative in this game, because you as the player get to pick and choose like what you're picking up, and if you're listening to it as you're playing, if you listen to it back at Haven.
Yeah.
But you get the sense that it's not just you, right? There's obviously we have our runners that you play as, but there's this really big thriving community of people from all over the world who have felt this calling to the Meridian. There's something about it that really makes them want to go. And that could be anything from an emotional tie, some sort of like hope. And it's really awesome to know that there's other people out there trying their best just like you are. And it makes the world feel a little bit more lived in.
Yeah, I like it for that. I like it also because it like some of the stories, because you're right, some stories are from other people who've been here before, who've tried to survive here. But you're also getting stories, which I think is really cool, of people before the collapse, you know, who didn't make it, you know, like maybe they, you know, you're hearing either that they didn't think the collapse was a threat, or they're in the middle of panic. And because we've always looked at this place as a bit of a ghost, a haunted house, and so we wanted to have the voices that go with the haunted house. And that's what these memory fragments do for us, which I love.
What's their surge level at? I know right now we're in like a clear zone, but...
Oh yeah, so we have to get out of this zone. So yeah, when you kill a locust nano, what we call a locust nano, it will create a, you know, like a bit of a safe bubble for you that regenerates your health. But then when you get out of it, you're back in the regular surge difficulty level, and we're at medium, so we're still okay, but it's gonna get hard soon.
All right.
I hope chat is really concentrated on this game to the point where they can't ask any questions.
Okay, we just found the surge formation.
I'm catching up.
Wait for Tony. Oh yeah, I gotta hit the exchange.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Okay, no need.
Okay, now the surge difficulty is hard, so we're at the end here.
It's so funny to watch all three of you at once using your nano leaf.
That would make a great video.
That would make a really good video. Is someone scanning the...
No, you have to kill. I think we have to kill some nanos. Every nano has to be killed. There we go.
Got it.
Now we can scan. So you have to scan this formation so that Caraway can get some readings and find the location of the tyrant, which is your ultimate goal. Find the boss and take it out. And while she's scanning, you can see up there, if you look up top, you can see some scarabs scanning it. We have to defend the area from.
I see you guys shooting some bulbs up there. What are those? I haven't seen those before.
So those grow. Yeah, actually, you're right. I don't think those were in the last build either. So that's what grows out of this formation. It starts realizing it's under attack, and it creates these, these little.
Oh, okay.
These hot energy balls that end up dropping on top of you.
Interesting. Definitely adds more chaos for sure.
Yeah, you definitely have to just be aware of it. I mean, it's not going to kill you, but it's going to damage you, and so you watch it. Oof! See, I just got hit by one.
Oh.
We're halfway there. Still got a ways to go. Ah, damn it! Hit again. Those energy balls.
Well, luckily, you got Dr. Stone on
There you go.
the team.
Yes, exactly. Although we're doing
He is
pretty
the
good.
healer.
I thought I'd have to use them a lot more, but everyone seems to be doing pretty well with their health.
Earlier, someone in the chat asked about balancing, and the team is definitely working on balancing the game to be playable for as many types of people as possible.
Yeah, and balancing is one of those things that, for a live game like ours, it's you're constantly balancing it to a degree, there's always that going on. But for sure, we're in the final stages as we're getting ready to send this baby out to the world, and so there's a lot of that going on for sure.
Low Gamer Level has a suggestion. The Reaper Boss Nano would make a great companion with like a winged flight leap jump.
Oh yeah,
That would be really sick.
that would be amazing. I like that idea.
Yeah, write that down.
Something like half Reaper, half Angel.
Ooh, very nice. I could picture Rania on that. Rania with her dark attitude and the Reaper. Oh, that would be amazing. Hey, we did it.
The barks would be fun to fire in PvP.
Yeah.
Good work, runner. I'm using the data to triangulate
Objective
your
completed.
Stand by for
We did it!
Woohoo!
Woo. Well done, team.
Pound the ground, buddy.
Nice job, Ace.
I've also noticed that some UI things have been added to the game just recently. So before, once you finished the game, it would go to a timer, and it would give you about like 60 seconds to hang around before it took you out. But now you can actually just choose to leave once you're ready, and it gives you the option right away to leave, so you don't have to wait those 60 seconds. Similarly, when you go to those exchanges and you buy stuff, instead of what would happen before you bought it, and then you would have to go back to the exchange again if you wanted to buy more, it gives you the option to press buy, which then will bring you back to the exchange menu again. And then the way you leave the exchange is by clicking escape rather than walking away. So it kind of just gives you more flexibility with making quick decisions, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's all those sorts of little things that we've been fine-tuning as the game gets ready to go, just to make the experience as smooth as we can for the players. And that's, you know, that's a combination of us playing the game a lot of feedback that we got from the playtests. You know, the players have been really great about sort of saying, you know, they're very enthusiastic, which is amazing. They're very to, you know, get in there and give us suggestions on you know, where we think we can improve it. So we listen to those a lot, and we apply those where we can, where we think, you know, if we really think it's gonna help the game, then we dive in there and go for it. And then we ourselves are looking at the same thing. So that's a great example right there. We just wanted to try and make that a little smoother at the exchange, and I think it does work a little better and quicker at the exchanges now.
Well, we can go back to the Haven, and I think we can call it a day. We've been on for an hour and a half, and, you know, I think we got a lot of cool stuff out of this stream. So,
look at us. Look at our team.
Look at this team.
Beautiful. So yeah,
that's hilarious. I didn't even realize we just happened to pick the team in the poster. That's
yeah. Oh my God. Good job. Good job, us. All right. Well, this was fun.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Kevin, for again coming. I know we use you so often. You must be sick of us by now.
Oh, it's great. I love these. It's fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and thank you, Liv. It was nice to have you on for the first time. I'm sure as, you know, more content gets put into the game, we will have even more names, and thus I will have to bring you on again. So
I will be on as much as you'll have me. I'm more than happy to hang out.
All right, well, you know, with that said, we are going to end the stream. So thank you, everybody who stuck around. Thank you, everybody who asked questions. Please make sure to follow us on all of our links. I do not have them all with me available, but they are available just at the bottom. We have our Twitter, our Facebook, our Discord, our YouTube, and our Instagram. Please follow those. That will give you all the information on what is to come next for Synced. So with that, I bid you adieu. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.